What's up, guys? It's time to dive into the High School DxD Hero episode 2 review. So this is episode 2. I didn't do episode 1. We're going to talk about it a little bit towards the end since it was relatively a recap, but episode 2 was awesome. Now I do have a little bit of a problem here or there. The one problem I'm just going to address right now: the animation is fine and the new character art styles are fine, but there are some discrepancies. Like Zenobia looks a little, she looked better in the old one. Like a lot of the characters do look better, but she just looks off to me. I don't know if I just got too accustomed to the original Zenobia, but this one just looks a little bit off. Not bad, just off. That's all I'm gonna say, but that's besides the point. We jump right into the lore expansion. So we're talking a little bit about the Juggernaut drive, the dragon-like state. I know his armor looks like a dragon at all times, but the larger dragon-like state that he took on in that fight where he had to rescue Issei, he's gonna have to learn how to control that if he even wants to stand a chance in this new upcoming tournament against all the other heroes from other countries and different places. But he's gonna have to flood his consciousness. That's what Azal, man, that name is so difficult to say. Azazel, well, I'm just gonna call him Oz. That's what Oz tells him. He's gonna have to flood his consciousness into the sacred gear, and this is where things get a little bit like the Avatar. So now he can talk to the other past dragon emperors. So this is like full on Avatar: The Last Airbender. Aang can talk to former avatars by going into the spirit world, I guess, and now Issei can talk to past dragon emperors. But the catch is that they don't talk. They're like in a comatose, coma-like state. They just lay there, and it's explained that most of them did not meet a good end. They were destroyed. They were either consumed by their powers. It's always a dark fate for the Dragon Emperor, and there's a couple of exceptions, but mostly you have a bad end. That's the way that it's explained. So we're introduced to one of the few female Dragon Emperors, Elsha. Elsha is, she said that she's hidden herself from most Dragon Emperors. She doesn't even appear. She just appeared to Issei because he was exceptional. He was funny with the whole Oppai Dragon thing going on. And they allude to another character. I think his name was Belzord or Belzard. They haven't introduced him yet. They haven't revealed him yet. I guess he's gonna come in like in a mid to late season and give him that extra pep talk that he'll need to overcome whatever enemy. But for the most part, this was really illuminating. So their lore expanding. I like that. It progresses the story. It gives it an actual plot, and I like that. It's not just all about the Oppai. They do try to do a story here, and it's really, really good. So we get to a part where Issei received this key, and I don't ever actually remember seeing this scene unless it happened in one of the specials or one of the little side stories. But I don't remember him ever getting a key, but he said he got it from one of the other great kings, and she has this box, and they say that if you open this box, you can't go back. It might change you forever. You might not be who you once were. And if you open this box, it's going to help you control the Juggernaut drive, basically. So he opens the box, he uses the key, he opens the box, and then instantly he's flung right back into the real world, and he doesn't know what happens. And basically, whatever was in that box jumped out of the box, and it's gone now. And Drag says eventually it's going to come back to you. Don't even worry, that's its fate. I have a theory on that. I think that was Issei's love of Oppai, because right after that, one of his friends starts freaking out over Oppai. And then again, we get to the train station or whatever it was, and there's some random dude getting flung up about Oppai. And I'm like, yeah, that's what happened. Like maybe Issei's love of Oppai has infected the world or something. I don't know, but I'm thinking it's that. I think that's the hint that we're all going with. It said it was his great potential, and his great potential is his love of Oppai, so maybe that escaped him and it's going to different people, jumping from person to person, and maybe it has to come back to him in greater strength or something. I don't know. I'm just speculating. That's just me. That's what I think. Man, I love High School DxD. it's so good for it to be back. Like I was gonna wait till the English dub came out, but I can watch the original dub or the original now since I love it so much. Like I originally watched High School DxD seasons 1 through 3 with English dub, and I came to love it. So now I'm more than willing to tolerate no dubs and just subs and just watch it for what it is, and I still love it. It's all good to me. So now we get to the point where they go to a hotel that the Gremory family actually owns, and they go out on a trip and they go to one of these temples or wherever, and this is where we get into the real action, because now Issei goes to pray. He prays that he becomes the harem king, and I'm like, yep, that's Issei. That's good old High School DxD. But we jump into the action where he's attacked by a QB kid or QB girl or whatever, and a bunch of priest knights or whatever. And I'm saying, okay, so this is going to be like the major conflict for this season. So he's going to either have to take down this girl, or maybe she transforms into a super QB or whatever, and that's going to be the main opponent besides the actual hero tournament itself. I don't know yet, but that's what it looks like it's shaping up to be. And then we get to the true High School DxD part, because they go back, they have a talk with whoever the overseers, the teachers and everything, the council, and then we get back to the hotel, and Rose is protecting the girls' shower room, locker room, or whatever, and Issei is up to his old tricks. He's trying to see everything. He's gonna go in there. He doesn't care about the rules, and he and Rose have a battle. It's a really good battle for a gag. I'll give him that. The animation looked dead on. The only thing that I ever want to complain about with this animation is that Rias doesn't look bad. She just looks off to me, because again, I'm accustomed to how she looked in the previous seasons, and I do understand why some people are upset. I'm upset to a certain degree, but I'm not letting it ruin my love of the show. She looks okay, but I prefer pre-hero Rias to this, and Xenovia looked different. But this fight, the animation looked top notch just for a gag battle. So imagine when we get to the real heavy stuff. And Issei, of course, brings out the dress break, and oh my god, if you were watching this uncensored just like me, you know it was great. It was great. I expect a ton of art of this. I expect thousands of results on R34, for those of you who know what I mean by that. It was just awesome. This scene was awesome. And they go back to the hotel room, and of course they're talking about everything, blah blah blah, and that's it. It was a great first episode. I loved it. It looks like it's something bigger going on, because as I understand it, the QB child that appeared and attacked Issei wasn't the actual main one. They speculate that the Chaos Brigade is actually at hand at this. Maybe they abducted the mother that she was talking about. I don't know. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm sticking with this season. I was kind of taken back because, like I said, we're going to talk about episode 1. Episode 1, the recap did something that I did not like. And that's rare that I say with High School DxD. I feel like they retconned everything that happened with that whole Loki storyline in the previous season. Because if you notice, in the previous season, Rias had a lot of character development. Like, she was getting jealous of Issei because now she wasn't the center of Issei's world anymore. He had options, basically. He could be with Akino, he could be with Koniko, he could be with anyone in that particular set, because in season 3 it was a lot of different development. Like, he had his development, his defining moment with Koniko where he saved her from her sister, so they bonded, and then the whole story with Akino and him, and her backstory about her father, and how all that whole messed up story about her mother dying and all this different stuff happening. And it's just sort of like they retconned all of that. So basically now he didn't have any development with Akino, he didn't have any development with Koniko, and that whole like ending storyline with Loki where he put a curse on Issei and Rias, and you know that whole thing with fake Issei, and she took on the Dragon Emperor powers and fought Issei because she was dealing with being jealous. Like he preyed on her jealousy, and this was something that she had to learn how to deal with, and Issei had to break through to her. And that was a really good season because it showed that she can get jealous too. She's not this typical anime character that's put on this pedestal to be only desired. She had emotion, and it showed, and I appreciated that with season 3. So then they basically, in the beginning of this season, just tried to retcon all of that, and I feel like that's terrible. Like you can't take away character development like that just because, you know, whatever new studio, we're gonna do things our own way. That almost, I won't say it almost made me stop watching High School DxD, because that it's almost impossible unless they take a completely different direction. But it almost had me rate this season lowly. Now this episode won me back. I hope they keep going at this tone, at this pace. And hey, I mean, even in episode 2, they go and they cut away to Rias and Akino, and it shows that yeah, she can get jealous with Akino, you know, caring about Issei, so it's still a little bit there. I have to give this episode a 9 out of 10. Really good. I hope you guys check it out. I highly recommend it. High School DxD Hero. I'm gonna be reviewing every episode. The only reason I didn't review episode 1, which I kind of just did, was because it was a recap episode and you really didn't have to go into great detail about it. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Of course, I've been your perfect being and the #1 anime, gaming, and Dragon Ball channel on YouTube. Yes, the name is Perfection. Don't forget to share this video. Click that notification bell. That is oh so important in this day and age on YouTube. Make sure you click the notification, enable all notifications, not just occasional. You don't want occasional updates. You want all updates for this channel as they become available. I've been your perfect being, and I will see you in the next video.